Alright, I don't know if this thing is on, working right or not, but alright, so today, had a lot of fun, almost totaled the car, and now we are fixing not that. I got these. These are stock control arms off of an STI, so they're aluminum. Yeah, the bushings are actually in really good shape. So I'm just gonna run those for now. I wanna do poly bushing soon, but for just time being, I'm gonna throw those in. Anyways, what happened on this car, that is what happened earlier today. So you can see it literally ripped off. Like I did not tear this off. This is how it broke off. The other piece is sitting right inside there. Broke the bumper off. Pretty large size dent in the hood. You can see it like folded this whole thing back. Fender, I think is okay. She's not looking too great at the moment. There's that corner. It literally snapped off. Right there. It's kind of crazy. I was on the highway to go get those parts. Somebody was about to miss their exit. They swerved over 3 lanes in front of like 2 other people, barely squeezed in and hit like one of the massive cylindrical traffic cones. Went flying in the air, the base of it came off, like the super thick rubber base of it came off, and that is what flew and hit my car. I mean, it's not fun, but you know, it's whatever. Pretty much all of the WX and STI suspension parts are direct bolt-in. For the most part, unlike the struts, if you get an STI, since they're going to be 5 by 114.3 lug pattern, so if you want to get struts, then it has to be an 04 or less STI, so that way they're still 5 by 100. But most of the suspension components, like control arms and all that, are pretty much the same. So these are all the same length. I'm going to throw those on. Let's hop right into it. To sum it up for you guys, we're going to go ahead and take out this bolt here, these 2 bolts, that one right there, and that one right there. Alrighty, so the first thing we're going to do here today is we're going to get this cap off this front control arm bolt. All you should really need is a little flathead, and you should be able to pry it off. It's just a little cap that covers the bolt. That's what it looks like. Before we do anything further, before taking any bolts off, we are going to go ahead and soak all of these bolts with really any of your penetrating oil of choice. Alrighty, so now that we have got everything soaked, we're going to go ahead and wipe this clean right here. The reason we are doing this is because before you take this bolt loose on either side, you need to mark it with a paint pen. I do highly recommend getting an alignment after you do this job, but in order to hold you off until then, you know exactly where this cammed bolt was sitting. You can see indeed that it is lobed, so go ahead and grab my paint pen, make a good old mark that I can see very easily, so that way when I retighten the bolt, I will know exactly where it was sitting before. Now that we have that paint drying, we'll go ahead and take off our what should be a 14mm nut on each of the end link bolts. But this is for my white line sway bar and end link kit setup. It's just these 2 nuts on top of here. Now we will go ahead and swing out this end link. Don't lose the washers for your end links. Alrighty, so now you want to go ahead and check and make sure that your paint pen has all dried up and it's not going to rub off. Looks like mine is dry now. So we're going to go ahead and take loose both of these bolts. It's going to be a 19 for the lobed cam bolt, and this is a 17 on the inside. And then this front one is just a 17 on both sides. So you can use whatever you'd like, impact, whatever. Go. Alright, now that that is off, I'm going to go ahead and try and get this bolt out. There we go. Do not forget these two washers. This is a cammed washer, so be careful of that. This is going to go on the inside and this will go on the outside. Now we're going to go ahead and take out this rear lateral link. 19. Here's the bolt head, and then the nut over here is also a 19. So we're going to go ahead and take out that now. Go ahead and get this nut as well as this washer right here. You can go ahead and slide out your Jesus bolt. Now a lot of you are going to hate me because these are known to seize right in here inside of the link, but in my case I have already actually changed these and done a disc swap on the rear as well as put on Willwoods. So this is a new knuckle and I have already replaced this, so if you're anywhere on the East Coast, yeah, that's probably not going to be a lot of fun. You can melt out the bushing with a torch and then stick a Sawzall blade right in there and just chop it in half, and it should come out because it will also seize onto the bolt. Then you will have to replace this bolt afterwards though, obviously. And then we're going to go ahead and do the same thing for the front one. Alright, now we got the bolt off. Just remember to get this washer. It's going to be sticking indent side towards the back of the car. Now after getting off this front bolt for the front control arm, which did indeed require jacking up the hub a bit so that way the bolt can clear the axle on the way out. So now what we will do is go ahead and throw in this front control arm. And then go ahead and just get it finger tight. We don't want to tighten it all the way down yet because we want to preload the suspension before we tighten any of these bolts. Now we will do the rear one. You want this bracket piece upwards on the rotor side. Stick the cam bolt through. Go ahead and line it up with your paint marker. Put on your second washer, and then you can go ahead and tighten everything to a finger tight point. Now we will go ahead and put in the rear lateral link. Go ahead and stick that in through there. Now you're going to go ahead and put your washer and nut back on, finger tight for now as well. We're going to go ahead and jack up the hub to ride height. Alright, now that everything is jacked up to ride height, tighten that rear lateral link bolt. Now we will tighten the front control arm. Line up the lobe with our previous mark. Then you're going to grab your 17 for the back side, and you want to make sure you are holding that still. Don't want to lose that angle. Now that that is back in line and everything else is relatively tight, we're going to go ahead and tighten all three to their torque specs. I'll go ahead and throw those up on the screen now. Now we can go ahead and drop the hub assembly and reconnect our end link. Alrighty, so as you can see here, we have each of the control arms on. So now we're going to go ahead and drop down the car. Alright, so here we are. Everything seems to be sitting nicely. Seems like everything is good to go with the car. That's how to replace the rear control arms on a Subaru Forester or Subaru WRX. Hope you guys found this useful. I'll probably put those control arms on tomorrow after I get ball joints for them. I'll keep you guys updated on the bumper situation. Thanks everyone for watching. Hope you found this useful. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.